Hello and welcome back to another episode of Boys Gone Wild. The weather is nice. The sun is out. This is the golden age. This is the mass feeling that it's not too bad here.
It's going to be all right.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like I think the United Kingdom has quite a hilarious capacity for misery. Just like you can often end up in like a grey town opposite a Greg's with a disappointing sausage roll. It's raining and it's like 4 degrees. And it's grey skies and it's just like, this is funny how this is like joking. Yeah. It does have like a undeniable like miserable quality to it. Not saying it's the most miserable place in the world, but it's got like a cartoonishly miserable thing to it. But as soon as the sun comes out,
you can end up with a Mr. Whippy in Hyde Park feeding the pigeons.
Exactly. It just doesn't get better than that.
It really doesn't.
But then as soon as the sun comes out, because especially early summer when the weather's literally perfect, it's like it is like it just doesn't get better than this.
It doesn't.
Yeah,
it's starting.
And I think people in LA you have it every day, so you're just not feeling.
It's starting to concern me how much the weather is affecting my mood. Like I used to be like, it's fine. It doesn't
on this
really,
pod you've said that
doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
But the marked difference in my mood and the vibe around everything once the sun comes out is quite astonishing.
It is astonishing. And then I had quite a sad. This is quite fucked up, but I think back in April when the weather first started shifting, the first proper sunny day, I immediately felt really stressed out because I was worried about
your legs out with the shorts.
No. I was worried about the end of summer. Literally
Already?
the first day.
You're going
no, because I was like,
this is ridiculous.
Because I see it and I'm like, fuck, it's going to end. Do you know what I mean?
At least it hasn't. At least in winter, it hasn't started.
Exactly. Genuinely. And it's that feeling of like, this is great, but then you got to use this time up because it's so long in the winter.
It's kind of amusing on death in a way.
Yeah, it is. It's like it's literally like, it's like being born and being like, fucking hell, I'm going to die.
Oh, shit. Wish I wasn't born. So you didn't have to die.
It'd be like an 8-year-old who's just freaking out.
That is the most miserable interpretation of the sun coming out.
Yeah, it's just like immediately I was thinking, well, it goes quicker than you think, and it's just like it's now the clock is starting to count down of those
So would
days.
you say you were potentially enjoying the winter because you didn't have to cope with the end of the summer?
100%. I was looking
and you're looking forward to the start rather than...
I genuinely had a great January, February, March because it was miserable outside. I did a lot of productive work and it just felt that there's no pressure to enjoy myself.
Yeah. Now there's pressure.
Well, now the sun comes out. And now the problem is like there's loads of shit I've had to do working indoors more so than usual. And so just like the sun keeps coming out and I'm staying in my desk and I'm like...
You're in your desk. You're in
I'm
desk
inside
drawer.
my desk. And then by the time I finish, which can often be like 7:30, the sun's going down. I'm like, fucking, if this was winter, I would not give a shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, I've started drinking on Sundays more.
Yeah.
Just because it's nice outside. Why not?
Exactly. Someone asked on TikTok about what our star signs were, and I said guess, and then she said I'm too scared to make a guess.
I saw that. It was like, come on, if you're gonna engage, let's engage.
Come on, because I tell you why she didn't want to guess, because she didn't want to get it wrong, because then it might
offend us.
No, then it might go against her worldview of understanding star signs, because she wants to keep the illusion that she knows what our star signs.
She's like, that's a classic, whatever.
That's a classic one. She'll say that as soon as she names it,
and it's
she's
wrong.
Lost. Yeah,
and that's for a lot of people to see as well.
Yeah, but horoscopes. Yeah, they're here. They're here to stay.
They're here to stay. So we're going to engage in them. Your
daily horoscope, the Metro. Is that by a white dude? What's he fucking writing about horoscopes? This is not your culture, Patrick. Patrick, you can't write fucking horoscopes. Look at this G.
No, he shouldn't be writing horoscopes.
Patrick,
he's old. That's an old man.
What a creep.
That's an old man.
Imagine if you see an old white dude going like, yeah, my star sign's Virgo.
Have you heard that Mercury's in retrograde?
Yeah, that's fucking creepy as shit.
All right, come on then. Let's smash them out.
It opens with
You read mine and I'll read yours.
Aries.
You read mine and I'll read yours.
Okay. Right, Virgo. Andrew's a Virgo. I imagine right now the waves of white middle class female listeners we have, our key demographic, are going,
Yeah, that made sense. Yeah.
Right now, as soon as I said
I
Virgo,
knew it from episode 5.
Yeah.
When you said that made sense. Yeah. Such
Virgo,
energy.
Virgo men.
It makes sense.
That's what Virgo men are like.
Yeah.
They're just
Maybe archetypal Virgo. Classic.
I knew it. Yeah. You're riding on a wave of emotion, and your feelings for someone might be
a surfboard.
Excuse me.
Sorry, I've interrupted the horoscope.
It's Patrick's.
Apologies, Patrick.
You're riding on a wave of emotion, and your feelings for someone might be overwhelming and out of your control. And while it's easy to say don't get too carried away, in practice, it might not be possible. For the coming days, it's best not to promise anything that you could regret. That is a lot of fun. That's way better than I thought. Wow.
Crikey, well, that's a bit much, isn't
That's
it?
hit the nail on the head. Fucking hell.
I've got yours up, actually. Well, sometimes, because sometimes they do hit weirdly accurate, and I don't.
I mean, Aries...
That wasn't even vague, that one.
That was really spot on.
That was really specific.
Yeah, it was quite strange. I mean, to be fair, Aries' character...
I might read it again just for some advice now.
Yeah. The thing about Aries, the descriptive factors of what makes an Aries are spot on for me. But, I also know many Aries who are complete opposites to me.
Yeah. No, that's the problem.
Yeah.
Right, Aries. March
21st
of April 20th. So it's a month-long star sign.
Is that not?
Well, sometimes you can get someone on specific days. Like today, you're feeling like this. Often they're in newspapers.
Okay, yeah.
Right. There might be reasons why.
No, it's your daily horoscope. So it's just saying if you're born between this month.
Oh, right, yeah, you're right.
Hence how horoscopes work.
That makes sense. I'm new here. There might be reasons why you're uncomfortable with yourself.
Oh, come on!
And perhaps you sense this keenly. She just fucking said it. Your self-esteem feels shaky over coming days. Do something nice for yourself. It will soon return. It won't hurt to spend some time relaxing and walking in nature.
Fucking hell. Your one was kind of like, don't be such a fuckboy. And then my one is like, you're a little bitch.
Get over yourself.
You're a little fucking bitch.
Well, that didn't go how we expected it to go.
No, not at all. That was
maybe we might have to say we were wrong about horoscopes.
Maybe. One of our white friends called Izzy, might as well. All of them will end with the syllable E. Izzy, Daisy, they all sound like that.
They're all there. Even though we don't know a single person called Daisy.
We don't know a single person called Daisy, but you just know.
Yeah. We might as well.
Yeah. Apart from Beth. Beth is in the world of Izzies and Daisies and Maisies and but it's got a harder Beth.
Yeah, it's more aggressive.
It's got a
crunch to it.
Yeah, Beth. You can
it's
Beth
salad,
someone on the head.
Soup.
Beth them on the head.
Yeah. You're thinking of boff though.
Yeah, I guess so.
Or
but
Biff.
It's still a sound Beth.
Yeah.
Beth.
Yeah.
It's
onomatopoeic.
Beth. You could be shot.
Oh, stop beffing me.
Beth.
Yeah.
You've been shot in the her defense of star signs was how when the moon's in different places, apples can have less or more water in them.
Right. And that will affect.
And then I was with your stepbrother Ollie, who's also quite spiritual.
He's not a star sign boy though.
He's not a star sign boy, but he's also very unlike me, he's very accommodating of other people's beliefs.
Yeah.
Whereas I'm quite a fascistic, totalitarian ideologue. But yes, so he was entertaining them and being very polite, as Izzy was talking about wet fruit.
Wait, Izzy said the wet fruit thing.
Yeah, of course she did.
What? But what's the argument about the fruit? Is it how much water we ingest?
Maybe he said that. I forgot which one it was, but I think he was trying to say, well,
so what? Then that can affect other things, not that the quantity of water in apples affects people's moods.
It's just saying, look, if the mood,
I don't know the last time I ate an apple.
And it makes sense because if you're a fetus,
sure, which we all were at some point.
We all were fetuses.
Don't run away from
by
it.
definition, unless you are aborted, which
But then we wouldn't be here.
No, we wouldn't.
Everyone who's here, who's around, was a fetus.
Who's here? But yes, I think the idea was that if the moon can affect the wetness of the inside of an apple,
then what else could it affect?
A fetus's brain, because I imagine, well, maybe the difference in personalities laid by your star sign could be up to how wet or dry your brain is. I can imagine a dried out brain.
I think your brain's very dry and my brain's very wet. Know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Were you saying a point before this, or was it just the brain?
No, I was pontificating, to be honest. Pontificating on my pod, as I want to do, as I have a right to do.
If we can't pontificate here, where can we?
I feel I'm 120 something episodes deep. I've earned the right to pontificate.
I think so too.
I don't think you can just open.
Are you implying that I haven't earned the right? Yet?
How many episodes you've done? You nearly done 100. You've done like 95 maybe. You're coming up to your
95. Sure.
I did 33 on my own.
30? No, you didn't. 33.
33, and then some guest ones. So you're coming up to being able to pontificate as you want to do.
So you have to do 100 hours.
Over 100.
Over 100 hours of talking to be able to talk.
Yeah. And then you have the right to pontificate. Did you? How are you? We also went out again this weekend. As is the feeling that, I think from the kind of the January, the kind of like weekends were quite a dark thing. Not dark thing, but like, uneventful. It's now starting to really the can is being shaken. Yeah.
Well, it's just the inclusion of Sundays for me.
Yes.
It really becomes it's like a 4-day event a weekend nowadays. Because Thursday something often happens. Yeah. It starts on Thursday and ends on Monday morning, which can be heavier than usual. What was your question?
Did you have a good weekend?
I did have a good weekend. I travelled everywhere around London.
Yeah. Because
we went to go and see Shane Gillis on Friday.
Which is really good. I'm a big fan of Shane. You should check out his special. He's one of the best ones going right now. And he had me flailing around in my seat like African American at a mega church.
Yeah, I'd agree actually.
Yeah, I really, when I get going with it, when I have the shit I like.
I did a lot more knee slapping than I've ever done.
Yeah, you were pretty flailing around as well. We went with Finn Taylor, who's a good comedian. You should check him out. He was sat between us, and to be honest, both of us were flailing like
we were flailing like salmon.
We were flailing like we'd just been hit by the Lord.
Yeah,
we've been hit by the Lord Jesus Christ.
Or salmon.
Yeah, that's our mega church. Is
the river?
Is like white working class comics making questionably offensive jokes.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's
where we're really preach.
That's when we're like, God is good.
God is speaking through that man at this point, 100%. No, he was fucking brilliant. He lost me in the last third.
Sure,
if I'm honest.
But it's the same with the special. But then for when Shane Gillis is good,
he's fucking brilliant.
It's the really good. It's the same. Like his special's not consistently good, but. At least half of it is some of the best shit.
I think because he does the Trump impression a lot, right?
Incredible.
It was a great Trump impression, but I think he's almost incorporated that into his personality because of how he holds the mic and he goes like that a lot.
Well, Trump is the ultimate showman. Like he's managed to. Oh, well, I've noticed. I think Trumpisms are coming into a lot of. I think
this is happening a bit. Yeah.
He had a joke in his special that part of it is have the hand movement slightly off.
Yeah.
Did you see Trump when he do you see Trump where he's at some I don't know where he does speeches now, but it's kind of funny because he's hidden away by mainstream media, so you only see him in weird things, either him golfing, and someone shouting, something at him and him responding hilariously with the election was stolen or something like that. But I think he was doing some sort of talk at a golf club. And he asked if there was any gays in.
That seems where he's comfortable, actually.
Yeah, that seems
he's landed on his feet.
Yeah. He was doing a talk at a golf club, I think. And he asked, is anyone gay in, I think he asked.
Yeah.
It was something he was doing. Is anyone gay in? And someone said, yeah, I'm gay. And it was this sort of, very, normal looking black dude with a cowboy hat on,
right,
I think.
Yeah.
And he goes, "You're not gay. You don't look gay, I think."
Yeah.
You don't look
gay.
Said,
you don't look gay.
You don't look gay.
I mean, it'll be astonishing if you said, "You're not gay." Is anyone gay? And I am. No, you're not.
You don't look gay. But not insane. You don't look gay. You don't look gay. It was you don't look gay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think I have seen that. But yes, it was. I travelled around a lot. Because we ended up Shepherd's Bush, and then we had to come back to Bethnal Green for the night. Then back to Mile End, and then Mile End to fucking Parsons Green. First time I returned properly to the scene of the crime.
Yeah, punch up in Parsons Green.
Punch up in Parsons Green. did another bottomless brunch, which was a lot more stripped back this time.
Yeah.
It wasn't as chaotic as 50 people in the same room running around doing different things. And then went from Shepherd's Bush. Took me 2 hours to get to Clapham because I got on the wrong train and was very confused after bottomless brunch.
Yeah, because I thought you'd be getting. You're certainly Londoning. Well, now it's open because I mean you came to London when it was. You literally arrived in London having never lived here during COVID, so you had it was a much more sheltered thing, and now you're Londoning properly. But it doesn't seem like you're getting better at it. You seem to be getting worse.
I just got on one wrong train.
You walked the mile the wrong direction as well.
That wasn't my fault.
Whose fault was that?
Martha gaslit me.
Okay.
To where her actual directions were. So she shared her location and it appeared that she was in the middle of a lake. And I said, surely she's not going to be in the middle of that lake. However, she's probably around that lake. I then walked to the lake, which was about a mile away from where she was, and she wasn't there, obviously. Because I guess the location fucked up a bit, but I didn't really realise that.
Okay, I don't know. I still feel like you get into these sort of scrapes much more than most people.
What kind of scrapes?
Directional scrapes.
That's nonsense. I've said it's increased more recently that I haven't been as good. I'm a strong directioner. I know Adam's the terrible directioner.
Yeah, you guys are both terrible.
I'm so much better in directions than you. And when we've had this discussion.
You're just not.
We've had this discussion.
It's such bullshit.
It's cool.
Honestly,
we are going to have to agree to disagree with this.
You remember when you went to Peckham, when you went to go home?
That was because I put the wrong thing in the Uber. That's not directions. That's being drunk.
That's transport. That counts as transport. That's what I'm talking about.
Transport or directions?
I'm saying the whole package. You got on the wrong train.
We honestly shouldn't talk about this on the pod because we've argued about this outside of it.
I just think you have no idea what you're talking about.
I agree with you.
This Saturday was Eurovision as well, which I'm a complete convert. You know, I think I had a couple of years in the dark when I wasn't watching it, growing up as a Eurovision family.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's always...
Are your family a Eurovision family?
Yeah, the Eurovision family.
It doesn't seem like one.
No. It held us all together, you know. It was something we even watched as a four, you know. There's these rare things. X Factor and Eurovision.
Everyone watches that. Like X Factor back in the day was what you do on a Saturday night with your family. Takeaway curry.
Yeah.
It was after,
it doesn't get better
after playing tennis for me, actually, and squash.
Yeah, that was...
maybe a barbecue.
That sort of collective media. Yeah, what do families do now?
What would you watch on a Saturday night? The Wall with Danny Dyer? I hope not.
I fucking hope not.
Is it wrong or is it right? Mental catchphrase.
The Wall with Danny Dyer would be an awful way to spend a family Saturday.
A harrowing way to spend a family Saturday.
If you get a takeout in, fucking hell. I can imagine, fish and chips watching The Wall with Danny Dyer.
Oh.
Awful.
For some reason, I just imagine the chips being too soggy.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, people chat a lot of shit about X Factor and Simon Cowell, and fair enough. You know, it's arguably quite a cynical production, but it gave a lot of steadily cruising towards divorced families a few Saturdays to cherish.
Yeah, ours were already divorced, weren't they, at that point?
Yeah, but you know, it got my dad back in the house. You know, and he left. He didn't come back.
It's weird
after X Factor.
It's weird to try and get a divorced dad back in the house rather than out the house.
Yeah, he put up with Doctor Who actually because we used to watch Doctor Who, which I know is not your favourite.
It's my least favourite.
But then I found out later that he hated it, and it makes sense.
So he watched Doctor Who for you. Did you like Doctor Who?
I like Doctor Who. Yeah.
You were a freak as a kid, though.
I was a weird kid.
Ballerina moo cow tobacco.
Yeah, but it's true. It's true. I was an oddball. Not like now. I'm a normie mainstream kind of guy. You know, take me home to your parents, and I won't embarrass you. That sort of guy. But Eurovision is, it's a. Once again, there's very few communal media things, and it was I love it because it's sort of set up in the spirit of let's not have another world war.
Yeah,
that sort of
You
know, it wasn't set up directly after.
The countries that sing together stay together.
Exactly. Though it didn't work with Russia, but it wasn't set up straight after World War II. It wasn't like the. It wasn't.
I presume Russia was banned.
Yeah. It wasn't like
I'd say let them compete.
Just for the vibes.
Let them compete.
Well, let them prove their point.
Yeah.
Or
just to like watch them come last.
Yeah.
I think that's a nice kick in the teeth. And see who's brave enough a Russian brave enough to stand up and sing a pop tune whilst everything that's going on is happening.
I just think it'd make it awkward, do you know what I mean?
Absolutely, which is kind
It'd be good, yeah.
Maybe they'll get like thrown tomatoes.
I like the idea because I think it was set up in like the 60s, but I like the idea that it was set up immediately after World War II.
As a
sort of Treaty of Versailles sort of...
like literally 1945.
It's a peace agreement sort of thing. It's like...
Part of the treaty.
Never again.
Never again. You have to... Like,
every year.
You have to give all this territory back, and once a year, all of the European countries have to come together in a singing contest. Sign me up. It makes sense.
Yeah.
Because it's just embarrassing when you have Eurovision. Isn't the embarrassing part? Is if you go to war with another country that competes in Eurovision with you, that's an embarrassing to do. That's a lame thing to do.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, and that's what I think. I think that's what
it's a deterrent.
I think that's why Putin's taken so long to invade the Donbass, Ukraine.
Do you think he did it because of Eurovision?
No, I think he would have done it 10 years earlier.
If it was for Eurovision,
if Eurovision didn't exist, he would have been done.
Yes,
he would. I think he's.
But
only...
then maybe the invasion was due to the poor results Russia were getting, and they were jealous of Ukraine doing better.
I think so. And I think, to be honest, he wants to co-opt Ukraine into being part of Russia so that they can take some of their more talented musical artists,
pop artists, Euro trash artists.
Exactly. But it's so gay. In a very positive way.
Yeah.
And there's just something. Yeah, it's so camp. It's so gay. It's so sincere. And I just think, in
is
place.
It sincere? It's quite tongue in cheek. I think.
I think it's quite tongue in cheek over here.
Do you think? Because we got Graham Norton.
No, not before that. Because we had Wogan before. I think it's in the UK. As we've said. As backward as the UK can be on things like food and stuff like that,
right. Yeah, sorry, yeah. That just made sense to me.
In comparison to France, Italy, a lot.
Yeah.
There's a couple of things.
We can be cavemen.
Sure. But there's a couple of things where you're like, Europe are a bit behind. Do you know what I mean? Music, sure. But there's something else. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I agree.
In the way that America, you can call them trash all you want.
Yeah.
Even ahead. Australia.
They're ahead on a few things.
There's just a more sophisticated sense of irony, We're more irony poisoned.
Oh, of course. But
so
that's our common tradition.
Yeah, I certainly think in Eurovision, some of them take it a lot more seriously.
Well, it would be fascinating to hear some of the other countries' commentaries.
Yeah.
Just to see how, sincerely they're critiquing and talking about the acts.
Yeah, because they are absurd. I mean, Norway had give the wolf a banana, and it was like 6 people dressed up as wolves singing.
Was there one person as a banana?
They were wolf bananas. They were all wolf bananas.
Right, you're going to have to explain that one to me.
So they had yellow masks with teeth and the wolf head, but then it was tipped like 2 bananas, and it was all banana coloured.
It was a banana wolf theme.
It was a banana wolf theme.
Did you get why they had a banana wolf theme?
The song was about
Russia, Ukraine.
It was about Russia, Ukraine. It was about it was about peace in Europe.
Yeah.
Give the wolf a banana.
And then we'll have peace.
Yeah.
That almost sounds like saying just give Russia, Ukraine.
Yeah, it does. Give the fucking wolf.
Just give it to him. Give the
Ukraine
wolf
is a banana and Russia is a wolf. That is, No, it was actually a weird take on Little Red Riding Hood. Give a wolf a banana so it won't eat your grandma.
That wasn't a lyric.
Yeah.
Are you being serious?
Yeah. Not word for word, but implying it was that's something on those lines.
Give a wolf a banana
so it won't eat your grandma. It was something about
that. Really sounds like a pro-Russian song.
Yeah, it does actually.
It's like give Russia Ukraine so Europe won't get destroyed.
Yeah.
Well, that's terrifying. Were there any other highlights?
Eurovision's
definitely something you rewatch or you don't catch up on it.
Yeah,
it lives in the moment.
Well, you say that.
I don't trust anyone that would go on BBC iPlayer and watch the full rerun of Eurovision after it's been aired live.
Sure, but I was writing a commentary thing for Finn, which you can check out. I'll put the link in the description below, and it's on my Instagram, Finn versus Eurovision. So that during the whole thing, I was writing jokes for every single one, and then when Finn came the next day to shoot it, we had to go through all of them again. And I've had to edit all of them into videos. So I've seen them all loads of
Yeah, but
loads
that's
of
obviously different.
Yes, it is. No, yeah, I guess so.
I'm not saying you're a maniac. I'm not saying I don't trust you. I'm saying the person that does it for pleasure thinks, oh shit, I miss Eurovision.
So
or knows that they're out on an event whilst Eurovision's on, but I'll watch it tomorrow.
I called Finn this week because I thought of the idea of using his character from Finn versus the Internet to have him comment on Eurovision. And we were both really busy. And knew basically like if we were going to get this done, it'd have to be done under immense time pressure because it stops being topical. And if the whole plan was going to write jokes for all 25
you can't
countries.
release this 2 weeks later.
No, exactly.
You can't even release it 5 days later.
No, exactly. It had to be really...
Yeah.
So, and it was just like, he's got a kid. He had loads of work on. I had work on as well. But then I think what I like about Finn is, one, he doesn't say no to any idea, but then it's like, if you find something funny, and I think we're quite psychotic in that way of just like, I just gave up my entire Sunday, literally the whole of it, just because I wanted to like write wanking jokes about, you know, Norway and Belarus and whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, it did feel like I was getting, you know, I wasn't getting paid for it. I was just doing it quite psychotically, and it did feel like I felt the most unhinged comedically. I felt how obsessed I was to get this out, in the sense that BB stayed over and he came up here at 9 in the morning on a Sunday.
Yeah.
So she was fully, you know, I had to basically just kick her out. And then Finn came in and he was like, yeah, this is kind of odd because, you know, BB was in here when he'd arrived.
I suppose...
It was in my bedroom that we'd just... we'd only... You know, I wanted to lie in. I was tired. So I'd only woken up half an hour before.
Yeah.
And then he'd come in.
Oh, yeah. Well, I suppose it's quite a rare one as well, given the time frame needed for Eurovision.
Yeah.
And the fact it happens on a Saturday, but once you're seeing the joke and you start to get into it, then it's the only time you can execute it, or you can never execute it.
It's true. Yes. So Bookmark Boys, let's have an ad break. It's not really a break, is it? It's more
just a continuation.
Just a continuation of shit.
Can you actually comment if you skip this or not? Because I'm really interested.
I'm interested too. I mean, we've had a couple of comments.
Just literally just say skip or don't skip.
Bookmark Boys, if you are looking for a bookmark...
If you're looking for some men...
if you're looking for comedic bookmarks that add to your literature as opposed to take away from it, then the only place for you is the Bookmark Boys. You can find them on Instagram. They have a lot of high quality bookmarks for a good price. Perfect gift for Yuletide. No, not Yuletide. What's a pagan? Is there a pagan summer festival?
Why not prepare your Christmas gifts in the month of May?
Why not? You know?
If you really care about your mum, you'll do it.
It's like doing your taxes now for next year, you know?
And you never know. These could go out of stock at any minute, so stock up for Christmas.
It's also an appreciating asset. You know?
Yes.
It's like gold. It's a very reliable block to invest money into.
Yeah, the value's only going up.
Yeah.
Of one single bookmark from Bookmark Boys.
Exactly.
You never know what might happen next. Crypto's crashed, so get yourself some bookmarks.
What's happened with crypto?
It's crashed.
Is it properly crashed?
Yeah, Bitcoin lost 50% of its value.
Yeah, so we briefly
got in at the right time.
We briefly went in. I think I made I made 400 quid out of it. I didn't put that much in, so I felt and I felt I had my fun with it. I don't know how much it was worth because that took us over like a year and a half, and checking it and the emotions of it did start to, you know, I didn't make huge amounts of profits, and it starts to wonder.
It's the best investment I've ever done. I've only ever done one investment.
Yeah. But we were really, So do you think...
I didn't check it that much because it was quite... Again, it felt like there was a time when it was just going to be going up.
Yeah.
And it was, in a sense, although it didn't... Obviously, it's not as
so we've done astrology. We are allowed to do crypto. You know?
We've given... It's half and half.
We've done astrology, so don't fucking roll your eyes. We're allowed to do crypto.
We can feel them coming through the screen.
We fucking did a horoscope.
It's only going to be a few minutes, and we've got this whole balls on nose thing, so just give us 5 and we'll be back. It felt like a steady investment because of just how much it was going up. But I know nothing about investment banking or anything. Not at all. So it felt secure just because of how consistently the numbers were going up and the percentage of which it was going up. But fundamentally, it's the most insecure investment you can do.
Yeah.
I just got in at the perfect time.
It's a cowboy investment.
It was pure fucking luck.
And now is it completely crashed?
It has.
It's
It's another time to invest in it again,
Yeah.
which I actually need.
But they said when everyone was saying buy the dip last time. Remember the big buy the dip when it crashed when it crashed.
But then it went up again.
And so that was the right thing to do.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. It definitely was. And I think now is a good time to buy it. But my investment understanding goes from buy the dip and sell when it's high, which is just buy it for cheaper and sell it.
What I was disappointed to find out was it is very complex, sure, but it's also not insanely complex in the sense that it's a line that goes up and down and you buy low and try and sell high. I think
the complexity happens behind the line.
No, I know that.
That's what goal crypto is.
I know that. But part of me felt like that someone be like, I'm like, that is the fundamentals. You try and buy it when it's low and sell it when it's high.
Yeah.
And I kind of felt
but if you're going to get into something,
I thought there was going to be something more to that
because you weren't making smart, like prudent movements and investments and stuff. Most of it was just a gut feeling.
Sure.
The complexities happen when you read into the news stories. You understand to
see when it's going to be low
of the investment. Yeah, of course.
To buy low, sell high.
Yeah, but you can make capitalism as complex as you want, but that's the fundamentals of it.
Buy low, sell high.
Exactly.
So Patreon, subscribe to our Patreon, because I'm thinking of potentially putting a limited number on our lowest tier. So buy in now before we up the prices.
Before it gets, we got a lot of people coming in at the moment because there's better content in there. We really go unhinged on there.
We really do. We really.
I said a story last week that I definitely shouldn't have said.
100% shouldn't have said.
100%
It's completely risking your job.
Yeah.
But it's behind a paywall, so what can you say?
What can you do? What can you do about it?
Yeah, subscribe to the Patreon.
Right,
also live podcast.
Fuck yeah.
30th of May, Monday, 8 p.m. We are doing a live podcast at the Bill Murray. Be there or be triangle. That was a bit zany.
That was the zaniest thing I think I've ever heard.
That was incredibly whimsical.
Yeah, I think you meant square.
Yeah, exactly. So, and be square is already pretty quirky, so I doubled down. It feels like James Acash or Wes Anderson collided in a black hole.
This is the kind of great chat you're receiving in the live podcast,
exactly.
So please come.
Yeah.
Enjoy yourself. Right, balls or nose? Come on, let's do it.
So we entered a debate that me and Andrew heavily disagreed on. This was last weekend. Not last weekend, the weekend before last. Where, how did the debate start? Do you know where it came from?
You and Paul were talking, then you brought me in.
What did I say? I said,
I wasn't part of this.
I said to Paul, we were talking about ears, because he'd got his ears cleaned, and I'm having some crackles in here, so we're talking about ears. And I think Paul said something along the lines of, ears are weird, aren't they? Like, imagine if...
That's mostly because he's got weird ears.
He does have weird ears, so we're talking about that. But he says ears in general are weird.
Yeah.
Imagine if no one had ears and you're the only one with ears. That'd be weird. I'm like, that's really weird. And then I was like, yeah, do you think that'd be weirder than not having a nose? And I was like, I'm not really sure. And then Andrew goes...
Horatio turns to me and says, can you settle... What do you think, Andrew?
Andrew goes...
What are you son is for the cows? What are you talking about?
What are you saying? And he goes, no... The weirdest thing.
You need to set it up properly.
No,
Horatio and Paul started having a debate.
The weirdest
Horatio,
thing.
No, let's set it up. Horatio the whole thing, he came over to me and went, we're having a discussion. What do you think is the weirdest body part to have if no one else had it? That's the whole premise of the debate.
So everything's on the table. Eyebrows, eyes, hair. If if no one had if no one had eyeballs, and you're the only one with eyeballs, but I guess then they wouldn't be able to see.
Yeah.
We're talking more aesthetically,
Let's say if you could do eyeballs and you'll still be able to see. Let's say that.
Yeah. And you're the only person with eyeballs. Terrible.
Everyone else can see.
Everyone else can see.
But you just have eyeballs.
You just have eyeballs.
Yeah.
So they just look out their sockets.
Yeah. Oh, God.
And then you're the only one.
I think you'd be heralded as beautiful in that world, wouldn't you? Or then we'd be so used to... Would they say, doesn't he have such beautiful eye sockets?
Yeah, I think...
That's the world they live in.
It's the understanding that beauty is completely normalised by human features.
Exactly.
Breasts
aren't the veins in his eye socket so gorgeous?
Yeah, breasts are heralded as a symbol of sexuality and attraction. But if no one had breasts and you're the only person with breasts, terrifying.
Sounded like my point, mate.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
So, Andrew, do you want to make your point?
No, you make your point first.
No, because okay,
I came in and
no. The debate only happened with what you said. It wasn't me.
You said nose.
I said no.
It's nose or balls?
No, I didn't. No. I was only responding to yours.
Okay, but you say nose.
I probably.
Well, you got to take a stand on this.
I'm just saying it's more going to be one of these ones. It's going to be somewhere on your
facial.
Face. Yeah, it's going to be facial. Nose or whatever.
So Horatio said facial. Because obviously, and I don't disagree that it wouldn't be a terrifying thing to see someone with a nose who doesn't have a nose. But my point is thus. People have deformities on their face.
Yeah.
Happens all the time. And you address it. You can still get laid. Of course you can. You address it.
We're talking about what was the hardest one to get laid, actually.
Yeah. Well, it kind of got into that because I think we're talking about physical attraction and appearance. So it kind of makes sense. Yeah. So I get that. But people have deformities on their face all the time. They're still getting laid. It's still happening. Amen. And God, more power to them. Part of the reason is because beauty isn't skin deep, right? You meet someone, you address the deformity that you have straight away.
Yeah.
Right? If you were the only person who had balls, you can't address it straight away because if you can't, you go in, it's going really well with a girl, you've got a normal face, and then you go, by the way, I've got 2 lumps on my penis.
Yeah.
Right? That doesn't go well. So you can't address it immediately. You get back into the bedroom, when you whip your dick out, that's always a big thing, right? It's always a big thing. Okay? Imagine balls don't exist, and they are by far uglier than penises, right? Penises can actually be quite pretty. Balls can never be pretty.
No.
So you've got 2 massive lumps underneath your cock, that in a sack. In a sack.
Yeah.
That is the hardest thing to explain to someone. Genitals always a tough one to explain to someone if you've got something weird going on down there.
Yeah.
I can't imagine a girl who would be like, yeah, I'm going to be with this guy regardless of this. We see it happen all the time where people are with other people who have slight facial deformities or something. That's fine. But I'm not sure many girls are going to stay with a guy who has 2 massive lumps underneath his penis that don't exist anywhere else. And it's about the difficulty of addressing it. That is the hardest thing to actually. You'll get girls back into the bedroom, but one, they'll either be terrified, they'll feel too bad, so they'll fuck you anyway, but they ain't coming back for seconds.
Okay. I'd say clearly the balls, if we're talking about what would be the ugliest body part to have, balls would be the one.
Yeah.
If we're just talking purely aesthetically.
Yeah.
I mean, arsehole is pretty fucking terrifying if no one had an arsehole.
But you don't see it.
You don't see it.
You'd have to be going around London spreading your cheeks.
I guess, no, but I'm just saying purely aesthetically.
Yeah.
So purely aesthetically.
The arsehole isn't actually that unattractive.
Yeah, I guess you got to remember, this is in a world where whatever you pick, no one else has it but you. You'd be the only person with an arsehole. You'd be the only person with a mouth. The only person with teeth. The only person with a tongue. Like, terrifying. No one has ever had a tongue before. You've got this muscle, like, writhing around like a snake in your mouth. Terrifying.
I still think people without teeth can still get laid, but, like, would still have a better go at it than finding love with someone who lived in a world where there was no balls and they had balls. Because that's the best thing we can compare it to. That's the best thing we can compare it to. Because in our world, everyone has teeth, but some people don't have teeth.
I don't think you can compare it to that. Because without teeth, it's clearly, teeth used to be there.
Making some poor dental hygiene decisions.
Or it's like, you can conceptualize it. Because it's like, that is an absence of teeth.
Yeah.
You've never seen the white clacking enamel ever. That's fucking... that noise. What the fuck? You've never seen that shit in your life. Terrifying.
I could deal with that.
Okay, so I agree with you that balls was. I think it's as absurd to think that you're more likely to get laid if you're the only person with. I'd say what do you think is the worst facial one? Let's just say the worst facial one. Nose.
Nose.
Did you say nose?
I think nose. Yeah. The fuck was that? What's going on? Was that on the roof? Is that
house falling?
Is the house falling down?
Did that fall?
Was that inside or outside?
I didn't see anything fall.
It's probably the fucking rats. Oh my god, it's the mice. Anyway. Yeah, it was that kind of sound.
But I never heard that in my room before.
Oh, fuck it. Who cares about this house?
Fucking hell.
I've so given up.
That was fucking weird. Okay, let's say nose.
Yeah.
I don't think you're truly conceptualizing what it would be like.
I really am.
I don't think you are.
I really, really am.
No one's ever had a nose before.
I really, really am. And I get it. But look at all the people with like, if you've got chat, you've got charisma, you could absolutely get away with a nose. You can get them back. And then you've got normal genitals and it's all good. The terror, and I think it's the social awkwardness of trying to explain it.
I think you're over.
The terror of seeing it.
No. So like, even
to get a second fuck, to have a relationship.
It's so weird seeing the nose. Obviously, the balls are fucking weird, but that can be like a really embarrassing deformity you have. The nose, it's like, it would be like to look at constantly. And look,
Can I pose you a question?
I don't think the sex element matters. You're putting too much on the sex element. You'd rather be on the red carpet with someone who doesn't have a fucking nose, the only person on the nose.
How many people are on the red carpet?
I don't know.
You're just out and about, which is fair.
Out and about. You would not give it. Women would go for a long-term thing. Yes, it's weird in the bedroom. There's ways around it.
Can I pose you a question?
You can't taking him home to your parents and he's got a nose. Everyone can't stop staring. You can hide your balls.
They'll think you're doing a good thing. They'll be like, oh, isn't that great? That they can still find love even though that man has something on his face.
That's not what they're thinking about.
No, but there's people are heralded for doing stuff like that.
Okay.
Let me pose you a question.
Sure.
You meet a girl at a bar, it's all going great.
Yeah.
She has everything on her face and no additions. You get back home, she's got balls coming out of her vagina. You ain't going back for seconds. The silence is telling.
Imagine.
She has balls coming out of her vagina. You're not going back for seconds.
Imagine.
Yeah.
I'm trying to do there's a girl who doesn't have balls coming out of her vagina. All right. She has another nose coming out of her forehead.
Well, that's different.
Why is it different?
No, maybe it's not different.
It's
let me. It's not different. You're right. Let me formulate. I could still look into the.
I'd take balls vagina woman. I'd take balls vagina woman.
You would rather fuck a lady,
yeah?
Because this is the brass tacks.
This is it. Yeah.
You would rather have sex with a lady who has balls coming out of her vagina than a nose on her forehead.
Yeah.
No!
Imagine a nose on her forehead.
Imagine balls out of a vagina.
That's like a...
Right, because
there's something like, I don't know, transsexual about it, hermaphrodite.
No, there's not, because they're literally hanging out of a vagina.
Yeah, I'm just saying...
when you're going in, you're knocking them. You're grazing up against them.
You don't know how I have sex.
Well, unless you have a tiny dick, then yeah.
Yeah, she can wrap those up. I don't know.
I guess she could sellotape them to her belly.
Not to her belly, to her arse cheek.
Oh, she tucks it. But then she's covering the vagina.
She's got a nose on her forehead.
Yeah, great. Good for her. More power to her.
Look at her profile, okay? She's got one nose, and she's got another nose. She's got two noses, all right?
Yeah, that's a lot of noses. Look, that's a high quantity of noses.
You're talking to her at the bar.
Right, sure.
Maybe, let's say we're on an all-inclusive holiday.
But I know what I'm getting. And I definitely,
I think you're really not considering it.
If she was fit and fun, other than the nose on her forehead.
Both of these women are fit and fun.
Absolutely.
Both of these women are fit and fun. They're the same looking ones.
Then it's a non-question. I could get past the nose.
No.
I couldn't get past the balls out of the vagina.
Yes, you could.
I can't believe... What do you mean, yes, I could?
You would not be able to get past the nose on the forehead.
Imagine. Because once she can't... The nose is addressed, you know what you're getting into, and then great, there's no surprises.
You're not getting into anything because she's got a nose on her fucking forehead.
Yes, I am.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
You wouldn't do it.
Because she's fit and she's fun.
She's got a nose on her forehead.
She's got balls in her vagina. Right. But one thing I'm going to bring up, and I think you'll argue against this, because
Yeah.
I changed Paul's mind. That happened. And he went back and asked his girlfriend, and she said it's definitely balls. I think women, and I don't think we asked any.
BB.
Yeah?
Agreed with me.
Yeah, no shit.
I know,
mine are impartial. Yours aren't.
Also, I don't know how the argument is structured.
That's why I'm trying to put it into the balls vagina situation, because you're not imagining what it is to be a girl who's only used to cock, and then suddenly there's cock and balls.
I also do think, I think a lot of the time with these dilemmas, I do think people really struggle to imagine the reality of the situation.
You are so patronising.
No, I just genuinely do.
Everyone imagines the situation.
I think they go, balls? Yeah, much, and it's just not,
No, because I imagine it, because my whole point isn't about the discussing of the balls. My whole point is about not being able to bring it up and the social awkwardness of it and the importance of when you get into the fucking stage and it's coming out of your vagina.
That's too much of...
understanding the reality of the situation.
That's too small. That's not the real big thing, which is she's got a nose on her forehead. All right, for this example, she's got a nose on her forehead. We're on an all-exclusive holiday in Turkey. All right,
okay.
We're there with some,
How many cocktails have I had?
How many what?
Cocktails have I had?
It's the beginning of the night. We're feeling excited. We've had 2 or 3.
Okay, it's early days.
It's early days. We're there with loads of other guys. We're all wearing Hawaiian shirts. We're having a great time.
Mai Tais.
We're doing well with women. We're talking to. It's just everything's going great. You've wandered off and you started speaking to a girl at the bar.
Yeah.
Okay.
How many noses has she got?
Well, this is the question. Now I'm circling around.
Yeah.
And she's staying at the hotel as well. You could easily have sex with this woman. And then I come up to say, "You're right, Andrew. How are you?" And then you're chirping this girl, and she turns around, and she's got a nose on her forehead.
Sure.
The other option is, all right, you sleep with her, and then you go, she's got balls coming out of her vagina. Okay.
Listen to yourself.
I still think.
Listen to yourself. I'd go.
She's got a nose coming out of her forehead.
The only time that you would have
imagine me coming up to you.
Balls out of the vagina.
You're right, Andrew. Hello, how are you? Second nose.
No, I don't care about the social awkward embarrassment of me fucking a girl with 2 noses. That's fine by me. I care about the sex that we're going to have and if I'm interested in the girl enough that even though she's got 2 noses, maybe she's got a great body as well.
I would
absolutely... If she was,
this woman is a 10.
If she's a 10, of course I'd fuck a 10 with 2 noses.
A full nose. No one's ever seen this before.
She's a 10, but they're not a 10 if they have balls coming out of their
They're not a 10 if they've got a nose coming out of their forehead.
I just said they're 10s.
No. They're 10s apart from the nose coming out their forehead and the balls. Or
do you think? Well, honestly, right now we get down to brass tacks. Do you think you would have better sex with 2 people that are 10s other than these features? Do you think you'd have better sex with the woman who has 2 noses on her forehead or the woman who has testicles hanging out of her vagina? Who do you think you have better sex with? Do you think you could get it up? I could get it up if 2 people, if she had 2 noses on her forehead, 1 nose on her forehead, 1 nose in her face. I wouldn't be able to get it up if I took her underwear down and there were testicles hanging out of her vagina. You know that's true.
Sure. I mean, you would have... Yeah, because then you'd be having sex... The lights off, you wouldn't feel balls slapping against
You would feel them because they are in her vagina.
No, I'm saying...
You are grazing on the ball sack.
I'm saying that's why, I'm saying during sex, obviously, you'd rather the double noses. During, okay? There's a difference, okay?
I could fall in love with a girl with 2 noses.
I don't think so.
I think I could.
I don't believe in you.
I definitely more than I could fall in love with a girl that has balls hanging out of her vagina.
But
I want to frame it for the women as well because it's a guy that you're just used to dick, and suddenly there's these 2 big lumps underneath it. That if you're really into, oh my god, going down on people is fun, right? You can how the fuck do you even go down on a girl with a vagina hanging out of her balls?
I'm not sure. Well,
imagine you love sucking dick. You'll go home with this guy.
I don't think that's enough.
You go down and there's 2 lumps hanging. What do you do with them?
I don't think giving head or loving giving head, no matter how much you love it, I don't think that comes into the sort of genuine bigger things of love, not walking down the street and having people go and constantly having it just being like nothing anyone's ever seen before. The ostracization from society.
This is where we need to.
No one's ever seen a nose. They're having documentaries on her.
I would prefer because I'm being completely honest here. I would rather the social embarrassment of walking around with a woman who has a nose on her forehead than the private horror of having sex with a girl with testicles hanging out of a vagina. I want to make it clear that it's I'm trying to make it the male equivalent so they can understand it a bit better. So they're not It's not like a trans thing or like a dick thing or whatever. It's literally balls coming out of the vagina. A very unnatural thing.
Which I think is something that does have, some people might have.
You think there's people who have testicles hanging out of their vaginas?
Along those lines.
Well, maybe you should go and fucking meet him.
Well,
you clearly want to fuck all.
No, I'm saying that hermaphrodites that will often have a bit of both.
I don't think that's a thing.
But no one has a nose grafted onto their forehead. Well, imagine this. So you're sitting at home. You're in a 10-year relationship with this nose. Well, actually, this is actually first couple of days, maybe like a lazy Sunday. We're at home. It's cold. The flu's going around.
Her balls are shrunken up.
No. This is your nose woman.
Oh, it's nose woman.
She's
sniffly. Oh, sorry, is that it?
And then she fucking blows her nose like this. She goes. I mean, and then you're watching TV and you just kind of look. You're like you're forgetting about it, and you look over and she's blowing her nose.
Okay, well this is your woman. It's been a really hot day. Her balls are hanging about in her panties. You can see them flapping about.
What is this?
You're at the pool. You're at the swimming pool on holiday. Her balls are hanging out because it's nice and warm. She then gets into the swimming pool and her balls shrink up and it gets all cold. But then when you get anything,
I'd rather them shrunken up.
Exactly. But then when you get back to the hotel room and the heating's on, they're back down again.
Okay, what I would say,
and I prefer a woman blowing a nose on her forehead than that, and I'll die by that.
Sure. Hey, I can even give you that. Hey. What I will say is, having balls coming out your vagina, there are ways. So obviously, neither of them are allowed to remove them. Obviously, that's against the
against the law.
Against the law. Obviously, in this, it completely goes against it if they remove them. Neither of them are allowed to remove them.
Yeah.
But I do think there's a lot of workarounds where I can kind of
cover her balls.
Yeah, she can tuck it back
for when you're fucking her.
Yeah. There's positions, it definitely wouldn't be ideal sex life.
But you're making her tuck back a part of her body. My woman is absolutely allowed to express herself with her extra nose.
No, she fucking tucks it back.
Wait, she wants to?
No, well, obviously she wants to. She's super insecure about it. I'm not helping.
Yeah.
No, but I'm saying she's. I don't think it's problematic to. I don't think it's the worst thing. I love your balls coming out of your vagina. I think, do you know what I mean? I think she would be kind of embarrassed about them, and I wouldn't want to force a fake thing. I'd be like, yeah, do what you need to do to feel confident, feel sexy. I don't think this woman is going to be, when it's hot by a swimming pool, letting them all hang out, all right? She's going to be fucking sellotaping them up her arsehole like a real woman.
Yeah, but she's not going to be able to sellotape. You try sellotaping your balls up your arsehole.
There's ways around it. All right, there's
ways around hiding it in public. There's no ways around hiding it in private. And this is a public-private debate.
It sort of is. Yeah. I think if she had a swimming costume on, she could. There's ways that you could hide the.
Have you ever heard of a hat? Yeah, down there, there's girls that wear like those really low-brimmed hats. There you go. That's the social embarrassment done. Yeah, your nose is covered. How would it be like that? She can still wear a hat normally. Yeah, you just have to loosen it a bit. There'll be a poke coming out, but they'll be like, oh, it's probably a cyst or something.
No, I don't. I think we're going to have to settle this in the comments because you've not convinced me.
Neither of you.
I think this is one of those ones that we'll have to really let out.
But I think what we also need to define here is what's worse to have if you wanted to have what. I think there's two questions. One is what's least likely to get you laid, full stop, and one's about how if someone would come back if you could find love or a long-term relationship.
It's not come back except for a second time.
Yeah. I still charge you to get hard when there's two lumps hanging out of a woman's vagina.
Challenge accepted, mate.
Great.
I'm just saying you're not ever ending up back there anyway because she's got a nose coming out of the forehead.
Yeah, but she's a fucking 10 other than that.
Yeah, I think you
just look into her eyes. Ignore the nose.
You say social embarrassment.
I suppose snot might drip down onto her face.
There's a lot of those things.
Yeah. Does she get allergies?
Of course she does. She's got two noses. Hay fever season is tough.
Hay fever season is the toughest.
I think even the little things will take you out of it. When she's using the hay fever spray and she does it 4 times. Even little things like that. That's not a big thing, but even little things like, oh yeah.
You're showering with your lady. She's washing her balls. That's taking you out of it.
I won't shower with her.
Yeah.
I can do that. I can do that. All right.
I'm not. I refuse to take that.
Yeah, but you also...
maybe this just is our two different personalities. So.
I think when you say social embarrassment, I raise it social ostracization.
You think you'd be ostracized by your friends if you had a lady with a nose on her forehead?
No, not in a open way, but I do think it's such a strong deformity that you do start slowly getting excluded from certain things. I think it's just a natural thing.
You think they stop inviting you to things?
I think it would happen consciously.
It's bigotry.
No, of course it is.
Yeah,
it's societal bigotry. But she's got a nose coming out of her forehead. No one's ever seen anything like it.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, that's fine. That's fine.
I just think you don't quite understand the scale.
No, I do. I do. I don't think you understand the scale of the sex and your sexual attraction to her. And the awkwardness of, like, if you're trying to bring it up, you can't bring it up. How often do you bring up your genitals when you're trying to have sex with someone?
What about the nose? Is that not the same thing?
No, because it's already brought up. It's laid there to bear. That person will find love, and that can even be right, because it doesn't even have to be about me. It doesn't mean about if I have to go home with two-nose lady. There are so many people who would go home with two-nose lady. So many people. Well, maybe she's a 10 on every other way.
Both of them are a 10 on every other way.
Exactly. But then they'll get back, and guys will go, Jesus Christ. No, thank you. They're not coming back. Two-nose lady, brought up, everything's been addressed. You will understand exactly what's happening when you go back to the bedroom to have sex for the first time. It's a done deal.
I guarantee you, actually, because guys, we know what men can be like sexually. They can fuck anything, to be honest. But it's a very simple, male sexual thing, And I do think they'd be like, she's got balls. They'd look around and they'd go, she's still kind of fit, and they'd still do it. It's like, do you know what I mean?
And that's exactly what would happen with the nose.
No fucking way, man.
Yeah, man.
No way.
Yeah.
No, because it's too simple.
Well, comment your thoughts.
Comment your thoughts below. We're going to carry on this conversation on the Patreon.
How long was that?
That was about half an hour. Well, it's about half an hour. We're going to carry on this conversation.
I am shocked it's the end of the episode. I thought we expected maybe 10 minutes out of that.
Yeah. We'll carry on this conversation on the podcast. We won't. This conversation, we've done half an hour of it. But we'll carry on this episode on the podcast. Make sure to subscribe. Link below. Live podcast, May 30th, Monday. It'd be great to see you there. Thanks very much. See you guys next week.
Keep it real.